Let's talk about the broadening formation phenomenon. If you don't know what a broadening formation is, it can be defined simply as an outside bar, a bar that takes out the previous range low and the previous range high, going outside of the previous range. And what this tells you about price action and how it works is that if you fail one side of the range, you are going to attempt to take the other side. And that then gives you a magnitude or an area where you expect prices to go. Because the second this bar flips from being red and taking out the previous bar's low to being green and failing the previous bar's low, we know we're going to target the other side of that bar. And in this case, we can see multiple examples on Apple where it fails one side, takes the other side out. And the 3 by itself is a broadening formation because when we draw these out, what we're doing is we're identifying the outside bar. So this is outside of these 2 bars here. Thus, this is a broadening formation on a lower time frame or a 3 on the higher time frame. So when we're trading, what we're going to do is we're going to try and identify the broadening formation because you're not always going to have a 3 like this. Sometimes maybe it runs out of time to become a 3 and then it uses 2 bars to become an outside bar instead of just 1. Or maybe it takes 20 bars or 10 bars. And for example, you can see here, we can identify that this is a new high to this stuff and this is a new low to this stuff. But is this a 3? It's not. On a 2-day chart, this would be considered a 2-day outside bar to these 2 days here. So what the software is going to show you is only what it's going to show you. It's going to decide how it shows you the information. Because we could update this daily chart. Instead of opening at 8 o'clock, we could have the daily charts open at noon and then close at noon the next day. And it would look like a completely different chart. So this is why we use the broadening formations. We draw them out because that'll allow you to gauge the 3 no matter what time frames you're on. And we can even go here on the month and you can see like so. Make slightly higher highs to this, make slightly lower lows to this stuff. These 3 months worth of bars are an outside bar to these 3 months, right? And these 3 months are outside to this. So 3, 3, attempting to go 3 again. It looks like they're just shy of taking that out. So hopefully you can see this is how we're going to be identifying those tries. And as far as the strat's concerned, what's important is when you see this coming back through a previous range and you have full time frame continuity where the day, the week, the month, and the 60 are all red, at that point, your magnitude is to take the other side out. Since we know if we fail up there, we're going down there. And continuity will tell you, are the sellers in control at that point and more aggressive? If they are, that's where they're trying to go. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to go through a ton of charts and we're just going to draw out the tries for you. And that's going to be the video. So let's go through them. ABV. If you go to ABV, we're going to have to zoom out here and we're going to switch to one chart just so it's a little cleaner for you. And we'll move all of our indicators here as well. So you'll see ABV like so. Slight lower lows. And now we've made higher highs to this stuff. If you're drawing this before that occurred, we'd do something like that. Because these bars are a compound 3 or compound outside bar of all this. And when you get this 3, what does that tell you? If you start failing and coming back into that 3, you're going to take the high of that 3 out. So we'll also be able to identify. You can see on the weekly chart here. Inside pokes up, pokes down, pokes up again, pokes down into the lows, and then this is what we look for. Inside bar actionable signal back through previous range right here. And you'll see they continue here with another inside bar. Then there's some triangle out, 2 go 3 right here. Now they're just up at the all-time highs, exhaustion risk. If we go to ABT, you can see from here to here and here to here. And when I'm drawing these, what I'm trying to do is make this as flat of a line as possible. You want to include ideally as much data as you can. So like this would be as objective as you can possibly draw it. Some people, what they'll do is they'll draw it like this, and that's perfectly fine. You're still identifying that this is outside of all of this. And so where's that trying to go? Back down there. If we go to the month, You can see the 2 going 3 right here when that goes red, trying to take that out, and it's done it. So on the monthly, your try could be drawn something like this. ACN. So the current try is this 3. We could also say we have something like this. Big old broadening formation. If we switch to the week, oops, you can see they get stuck inside of the previous range here. Pokes up, slight higher highs to this, pokes down, new lows to the range, and then 2-2 reversal right here, back through previous range. And as far as this is concerned, you can see 3 broadening formation, bigger 3, pokes up, pokes down, back through all of this stuff. If we go to a daily, you can see like so. They have the slightly lower lows. They go into the higher highs. And then on earnings, the 2 up, or actually not earnings, looks like just bad news. The 2 up, 2 down daily reversal takes out all these guys, then puke. And they're still making this range bigger. Something we talked about on Twitter around here. Adobe, you see that here on the daily. Notice these 2 bars become an outside bar of this stuff. These bars all go outside of all that stuff. These 4 bars go outside of all of this stuff. Then they get stuck inside. They do make a lower low again. And then all of these bars go outside of all of this stuff to the left. So you get the nice big old try. And once these get really big, this is what we look for. You can see the 2 up, 2 down shooter reversal back through previous range. And then they go and stuck inside. All of this gets stuck inside of this stuff. And you can see price discovery will start over again. The new lows, the new highs, the 2-2 reversal, and then bad news. Boom. If we go to the month, you can see the 3 higher highs back into this 3 lower lows. So nice big monthly try there. AIG. You'll see that like so. Slight higher highs, new lows, new highs again, and then you'll have the sub tries in here. And these, it's going to happen. It's a phenomenon, so it happens all the time. And you're just going to see this all the time playing out. So they're going to be everywhere. You see there's a 3 here, a 3 here, a 3 here, a 3 here, here, etc. AMD, quite a pretty one. New highs, slight lower lows. So if that goes 2-2 month, not good news for AMD. Has been rallying pretty hard this year. You can see the inside year and up we talked about towards the beginning of the year. Boom. Now they're coming back. So if that flips red, where's it going? Back down there. Market crash if that happens. AMGN. 2 up in red year. Where's that trying to go? Well, these 2 bars went outside of this bar. And the other thing I want you guys to notice here is notice how we can identify that from the yearly chart. And what we know to be true is still true when we get to the monthly chart. You can see it's going to be the same try. We just have to redraw it since the yearly aggregation messes up Thinkorswim, doesn't draw it correctly. But you can see it's the same try. And this is a good thing to know about because the strat, all of our trades and our setups, every time frame confirms it. If you're trading support and resistance, the second I go to a yearly chart, whatever you're looking at doesn't exist anymore. So it has no bearing on price, but this does. And we can go then to AMT. You can see these 3 yearly bars are outside of this bar here, like so. So we go back to the month. There's your big old try. And you'll see in here, if we go down to like a daily chart, lower lows. Notice you had the sub try in here and then it expanded, getting bigger, slight higher highs to this stuff. So here's your try. Go to Amazon. This one's been chopping around a bit. So you can see there's a lot of tries in there. Slight lower lows, slight higher highs to that stuff. And then the current daily try, slight higher highs to this, slight lower lows to all that stuff. This is outside of all of this. And we'll see if that starts moving later this year. AVGO. You'll see a big 3 on the weekly, so that's a try in and of itself. And on the daily chart, it's going to be harder to pick that out, but you can see this. These 3 bars outside of all that. If you get to the higher time frames, you'll see this. Pokes down, slight lower lows to these guys. Your try would be drawn like this, and then once it makes the new high, we redraw it to here. This is a triangle expansion. What that means is your triangles are going to show up on the lower time frames. So you'll see a lot of 60 daily tries in that type of stuff. AXP. Pokes into the highs with the shooter. Here's your daily try. If you go to the month, see something like this. All of this stuff is outside of all of this stuff. And then you'll have the sub tries in there as well. The slight lower lows, slight higher highs to that stuff. And then they expand. BA. This is what we call mother bar problems. Every single candle has printed within this singular monthly bar. What does that mean? Price action and price discovery is going to restart. So notice the very slight lower low here, and the slight higher highs in here. Then you'll see they did try and come back through that, and then they got stuck. Failed to make the new highs to this, failed to take these guys out. So what? Price discovery restarts again. And here's your try on Boeing. You're going to get a big move to get out of that. You got to stay down and out or up and out of either side of that. And to start the year, we did see a 2-2 month here to try and take these guys out. Just about missed it by a couple pennies. Bank of America. You'll see the old try in here, the 3s, gets stuck inside, pokes up, pokes down, takes all those guys out. Notice they expand it, it gets bigger. Now, notice how all of this stuff stuck inside of all that stuff. So what happens? Price discovery restarts. Slight higher highs and slightly lower lows. If we go to the yearly, it is a 3-2-2 on the year if it can stay above 37, just about back up there. We'll have to see. BIB. This one's a pretty beautiful one. We get here. You'll see this. And I want to show you guys the vaccine names too, like NVAX, pretty nuts. So slight higher highs back in here, slight lower lows in here. And you could see 3 down, up, failed to make the new low, but hammer back up through it, creates another sub try in here. Then they poked up, comes back all the way down to the bottom, tries to go back up, fails to make the new high, so you get a new sub try, pokes up, pokes down, pokes up, pokes down. Notice the 3-3. Get stuck inside of that again, more 3s, and you can see they poke up and all the way back down. And then they get stuck inside again. They poke down, they poke up, and all the way back down. If we go to things like NVAX, and go over the past very long time, you'll see this. Slight higher highs to these guys. The slight lower lows to this stuff. So when NVAX starts really gunning back through here, where's it going? Back into these guys and these guys, right? So you can identify that. If we go to other things like the China names, Baidu, this is a great one I posted on my Twitter right up at the highs here. You can see your tries looks like that. They poke up, where are they going? Boom, right down into the lows. Very nice. If we go to BPay financials, you got some pretty nice tries in there as well. You can see the starts in here. Notice the 3 starts here, and then this whole broadening formation occurs from that. 3, lower low, higher high, stuck inside, higher highs again, lower lows, higher highs, lower lows, higher highs, get stuck inside, so you restart. And now they broke out of that, so we'll see if they're strong enough to go and get out of that or not, but very pretty. If we go to like a daily here, you can see this chopping sideways. Notice the price discovery, 3. Slightly lower lows here, slight higher highs, lower lows, higher highs, lower lows, chop, new lows. This is the real move, right? Everyone's short, boom, other way. Because the range, as price goes on, gets bigger. Notice the try gets a lot bigger. Now, we'll see if they come back through that again. If we go to BKNG, you'll see this. Slight lower lows, slight higher highs. See the 3 here? When it goes back into that, now they're trying to take those guys out. That's a problem. If you're short, if you go to BLK, BlackRock pokes into the highs after poking into the lows, and then 3 on the week. So you get a subtrend here. If you go to like the 60, you'll see this. Stuck inside, pokes up, comes back in. They make slight lower lows to these guys. After making the higher highs here. And then they reverse, coming back through. If we go to the daily, you'll see the 2-2 daily reversal after the slight lower low. Boom, right into that high, about to the penny. Bristol Myers. Here's the weekly. Pokes up, pokes down, fails to make the new high. 2 down, 2 up, 2 down right here. Comes all the way back in. 2 going 3. Momentum, inside momentum. Boom, right into the highs. Now they're back in. If you go to the month, you can see chop shop because the price discovery will restart. If we get to the higher time frames, you'll see like so. Starts way back in here. There's your broadening formation. They poke up, they poke down. They try to poke up again, not strong enough to take these guys out with the 3-1-2 reversal against. And they may stop everyone out again. And they go all the way back up. And you do have some sub-tries in here. You can see stuff like this. All the way down, 3-2 reversal here, back through previous range. And comes back through. Now we're just chopping around with the lows of this. We'll see. Berkshire. Triangle expando. You can see up, down, up. Fails to make the new low. Pokes up, pokes down, new lows. Inside, back up through previous range. 2-2-2, back through previous range. Inside, up, back through previous range. And then expansion. And then after that, you can see the triangle lay out in here. Like so. Once it makes these new highs, we redraw. As such. Now it's an inside month, so what's happening? New price discovery. Slightly higher highs, slightly lower lows. You'll see on the week, 3-2-2, so we'll see if that reverses next week and gets out of that, or if they keep going, you can take this guy out. Citigroup. You're going to see the nice little daily try in here. If we go to the year, these 4 inside of this. So price discovery started over. You'll see like so. So they get very stuck inside. Goes up, comes back in. Sub-try forms in here. Slightly higher highs. Slight lower lows to all this stuff. They failed to make the new high, so they make a new low again. And then the 2-2 back through previous range here. Takes you into that. And then the inside up momentum expansion. Hat. Some good examples of what we look for here. You can see they did poke up into new highs. Didn't come all the way back through the try into this one, but you can see up, down, down again, then 2-2 reversal back all the way through the range. Here, 3 broadening formation, pokes down, inside bar reversal, 2-1-2 right here. Where's it going? Top of the 3, potentially these guys. And then they do inside down, back through previous range, short, inside up, long again, boom. And you can see, although it's not making the new lows to this, since we know it's a phenomenon, what do we know? These 3 bars went outside of this, and then when it reverses, that's how you gauge your magnitude. You would draw it like this, and we're not saying it's going to the top of that line. What we're saying is we're looking for the new high here. Then we can redraw like so. Then you get the Momo hammer, and they expand. Boom. It's a phenomenon. Just got to know about it. Charter. This is a pretty one. Pokes up after poking down first, like so. New highs. 3-1-2-2. Boom. Takes them all out. If you go into the daily, you'll see they're chopping it up in here. So here's your new price discovery starting like that. Colgate. Slight lower low. 3-2 reversal right here. Momentum hammer continuation here. Where's it going? Back through these guys. And what we do is draw it right to left now. So it looks something like that. Comcast stuck You can see all of these 5 months stuck inside of these 3. And here's your try. Big old try in the month. This is all dead center of that, doing nothing. If we go and zoom out a bit, notice the try starts here. Pokes up, pokes down, pokes up, pokes down, pokes up, pokes down. Fails to make the new low, but it's a phenomenon. Slight lower lows to that. Inside and up, reversal. Goes and makes the new highs to this. Then it expands, getting bigger. Then the reversal at the highs, where's it going? Back through all this previous range. Slight lower lows to these guys. Now they're stuck. So if we get down into like the daily, you can see it's going to be very lackluster. Slight lower lows, slight higher highs in here, and then gets stuck again, stuck inside, pokes up first, pokes down, back up, range gets bigger, and then you can see right to left. 3-2 reversal, momentum shooter, puke, back into the new lows. And then notice all these candles are getting really stuck inside of all this stuff for now. So the daily, you're just getting chopped to pieces. This is your whole range. COF financials. You'll see like so. So if we zoom out first, you can see the big try. So if we really zoom out, we'll see this better. There it is, slight higher high, 2-2 reversal, boom, back through all previous range. Makes the new lows to these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months stuck inside of this bar, and then they get out and they really start going. And you can see the 2 up, 2 down, 2 up. Where's the magnitude of that to take this out? So the triangle, after getting stuck inside of this, starts here. They poke up first, poke down, and then back through previous range. So if you're looking at a weekly chart or a daily chart, you'd see it in here. That's why we like the 222. And if we go into current prices, you can see it stuck inside, pokes down, pokes back up, slight higher highs, pokes back down, slight lower lows, pokes back up again, slight higher highs, back down, slight lower lows, stuck inside, 2 down, 2 up reversal. You didn't take this out, but what's the phenomenon tell us? These 4 are outside of this. If it reverses here, it's going back through those 4 to take this out, and then it does. Now they're trying to expand. We'll see if that continues to be the case or not, but we would draw it something like this. And what's also an important concept is we like to draw it after the candle has closed here. So the live candle that's open, we don't like to draw it off that. We'll draw it off it once it is closed, because when it comes to expansions and stuff, if you just continue redrawing it, it's a lot of pain in the butt. What we'd rather do is, if we're drawing this like COF here, so let's say we draw this one out here. Once that's closed, now we're drawing it off of that. Before that, it looks like this, slight lower highs. So once it's above this, it's expanding. After that, you can redraw it if you'd like, but it still doesn't reverse, so it could still expand. If it reverses, then it's back through. If it doesn't, this is still expanding. And then you can see they close up and out of that, and then the expansion continues until you get the broadening formation, pokes up, back down, fails to make the new high, inside and down here, and they just puke it. COP. Oh, look at that beauty. Lower lows to that stuff. Not always does it do it, but from here to the penny right there. And if we go to the yearly, you'll see that. Inside, pokes down first, taking out the new lows to that stuff. 2-2 reversal, rev strat. Pokes back up into all these guys. And the reason we wouldn't include that low here, or that high here, is because what we're saying is these 3 are outside of everything that is within this line. So if we included that high, we'd be saying that this low here did take this low out, but it did not. So this is 3 of all of this back in here. We could also, for being less subjective, we could draw it like this. These 3 are outside of all of that. Now, if it's going to expand and continue, 127.32. And this is something we're actively looking for. If you know the weekly videos, inside month and up, that's something we talked about. Back through previous range. Cost. This is a good one on the daily. Look at this. So since we know it's a phenomenon, We can also trade the potential 3 or the potential broadening formation to occur. So if you go here, this is something we talked about in one of the pre-market streams, but you don't really have much of a try in here. Where the triangle is going to show up is on the lower time frames, because eventually you have to make a lower low. You have to stop people out. Price just doesn't go up forever. So in this case, 2 up, 2 down daily reversal kicking pattern on earnings, I believe. Bad news. If we go on the day and mark this out, the high of that is 756. So if you go on the week, below 756.22, the daily guys are selling. What does that set up for the weekly? Potential broadening formation to take this out. So we can short there when that's red on the day, looking to take this. And then they do. Now we have a try. So the question is, how are we going to stay out of this 3, or are we going to trade back through that? So you can mark out the highs and the lows. There's your broadening formation. And you'll see on the day, they did 2-2 back through profit taking, and then new price discovery sequence starts over. Pokes up, pokes down. These 2 outside of this, back through previous range. Shooter day, 3-2-2 back into this. So on the week, you will have the potential 2 down, 2 up, 2 down to get you outside of this 3. And what could that do on the month? Potential 3. If we go to CRM, this is why it's such an important phenomenon. Look at this. They poke up first. 2 up, 2 down month. Where's it going? Back through these guys, like so. And once it keeps going, did not make the new lows to this, but it's a phenomenon. We draw it to here. This is outside of all of this. 2-2 reversal here. Where's that tempting to go? Back up there. And then it does. Not every time will it do that, but given you don't have a reversal against, it will. It has to. So you'll see 2-2 quarter here. Where's that going? Back through these guys. Till it reverses, that's happening. 2 down, 2 down, 2 down, 2 down. 2-2 quarter here. Where's that going? Trying to go up there, back through all those guys. If that doesn't reverse, it's still happening. They did have a shooter here, but they instantly came and bought that. 2 down in green here. Where is that going? Here. What happens if that doesn't reverse and it keeps going? Here. Cisco. You got the big try here, like so. Notice this is stuck within all of this. So you do have a macro or sub try in here like this. These 4 bars are outside of this. They did fail trying to come back through, but notice they had a reversal. They did try and break it up, taking the new highs to that. Then they reversed down. So where's it going now? Since it hasn't reversed back up, they're trying to take the lows of this 3, maybe the lows of that. Until that reverses back up, we cannot say it's going up here. And if we get to like the month, you'll see the new try is restarting. So they did reverse up, but they poked up, slight poke down, and they created the new try in here. They'll poke up, back through, 4 weeks stuck inside of, or 4 months inside of this, doing absolutely nothing. And that means you're starting even another try down in the daily, because price discovery will restart when you go inside of the higher time frame. In this case, we have the slight lower lows to this stuff, slight higher highs into that stuff. This is all outside of that. This is stuck inside of that. So it's just a complete mess. We don't touch that. CVS, there's your daily try. If that reverses, where's it going? Tempted to go back through those guys. If you go to the month, or the week, I mean, you'll see the 3, 1, 2 back up. It's going to take the high of the 3. And this is all stuck inside of these 3 weeks. So that's a complete mess. We zoom out. Let's get the monthly chart in here. Sorry about that. Fails to make the new highs. But it's a phenomenon. Takes that out. And you had all this stuff taken out as well. Fails. Starts coming back down. And now stuck doing nothing. You can see price discovery restarts. Goes inside. Pokes up. Pokes down. Stuck inside again until it makes a slight lower low to that. And back through the 3 here. Comes into the highs. This is your try. Not doing very much. CVX. You see the energy names. Very nice tries in this stuff. Big old try there. On the month, we'd have something like this. At this point, it is 2 ups, and they're trying to go up there. It's just not very strong buyers. We like bright green bars. DE. Notice the try. The 1-3 try starts here. Down, up, all over and over again. Very nice. And then you can see it gets this stuff stuck inside of that. Slight lower lows here. Where's it going? Back up. Boom. 2 month. So once it takes this out, 406.68, stay above that. Now you can take these guys out. But you have to expand that broadening formation that starts from the new price discovery. And when we're talking about this stuff, what you can think about is this is an inside bar because this failed to take this out and failed to take this out. So this is inside of that previous range. If you're looking at like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 month chart, which I might be able to pull up here. It's not going to let me do it here, but let's see if we can pull it up. So this is what we mean by it's not going to show you what you want to see. This shows as a 2 down. On the quarterly chart, it's going to be a 3, so it gives you the broadening formation. But notice on the quarter, these 2 quarters, which is 6 months, are inside of these 2. So although the 6-month chart won't show you that, we can see that even without the software telling us that. And that's important to know because every broadening formation, it's going to be a consolidation until it's not. Once you start expanding, that's a breakout. And that's why we call it an expansion. If we go to DHR, currently on the month, you got something like this. Pokes down, 2 back up, going up there. Boom. On the year, inside down, could rev strat above 278 and put you way back into 330. Danaher. Disney. This one's got a big one. Reminds me of Meta a little bit. 34 cents lower. You'll see this. 3, 2, 2. Boom. Where's it going? The other side of the broadening formation. Now, 2 year potentially tries to go back up there. They have had some bad stuff in the news, so we'll see. The Dow. Notice slight higher highs, slight lower lows. See how this all gets stuck inside. This is an equilibrium or consolidation to this. And that's going to start the new price discovery. Slightly lower lows, slightly higher highs. If it's going to expand, you just got to keep 2 into the upside. Duck. Utilities. Slight higher highs, slight lower lows in here. 3 broadening formation, 2 back through. Takes out the highs. If you go to the weekly, you'll see the small one in here. Notice this. Come on. This stuck inside of that. So you got to get out of there. Zoom out a bit. You can see your big old utilities try. It starts in here. These 3 bars go outside of that, stuck inside of this. Then they go back up. Then they poke down, slight lower lows. Poke back up, fail to make the new highs. Inside reversal. Puke. New lows again. Then the 1, 3, 1, 2 right here on the week, that's an actionable signal. Boom. Right back up in there. EMR and the industrials. You can see the broadening formation on the week here. Pokes up, pokes down, 2 week. Boom. Missed that. Inside week here. Boom. Missed that. Another one here. If we zoom out on the month, you can see all this action stuck inside of that. So what do you start? New price discovery. And then eventually they do get out of that. Right now it's expanding into new all-time highs. Ford. Inside month and up, inside month. So they still potentially trying to come back through that. FedEx. Pretty neat one this month. 2. And notice, did they take this low out? No. What did they take out? The slight lower lows to that. These 3 bars went outside of this bar. 2 reversal, trying to go back through these 3 bars. And then they do. These 2 outside of these 3. GD. Slight poke down. After the slight poke up. And then expansion this year. On a yearly chart, since this works across all time frames, and so does the strat, you'll see the momentum hammer. That's an expansion momentum signal. Same thing as a broadening formation. You're just looking at the 3-2, or the broadening formation expansion, as an actionable signal on the year. Because what this tells you is it opened up, they poked down, and they poked back up, and then they stayed up. So the 2-2 continuation is that staying upness, that's expanding the try. And you'll see this is your try. They're even expanding the yearly try as well as the monthly try back in here. GE. This one's a neat one. So first of all, big rally. How do you get in that? Wait for the 3. 3, 2, 2 right there. Boom. And if you miss that stuff, inside week here, 2 up, 2 down, 2 up here, momentum hammer here, 3, 2, 2 here as well, inside week here, and then the inside week we had this week. Boom. That one I actually want to pull up the bigger time frame for you guys too. Hopefully that doesn't glitch it out here. So notice these 2 bars. Every single candle is printed within that. What's going to happen? New price discovery. Notice they go up first. Never take the highs out. So what's going to happen? You're going back to the lows. Anyone that's long in there, they have to get stopped out. It's a crowded long trade. Then pokes down 3, 2 reversal. Did not stay out of the 3 though. So pokes back down, and then the 2, 2, 2 shotgun. If you watch the previous video I put out, right there, you can see back through previous range. There's your try. These 3 went outside of this 3 as well as the rest of this. 2, 2, 2 here. They're trying to put out all these bars outside of that. And then if they want to, they've been a lot higher. Guild. You have an outside year, so that gives you the try here. This is outside. Well, there's a lot of 3s here. You can see it's like something like this. This is outside of that. So 3, 1, 2 down year below 72. You're trying to go back to 57. And this one had a crazy looking one on the month. You'll see this. The 3, broadening formation, poke up, poke down, pokes back up. Shooter, after poking up higher, taking a slight higher highs to this stuff. 2, 2 right here. And boom, pukes them all out. And we could draw it something like that if you'd like. I like to draw them like this because it just shows that's a big rejection. GM. Should be obvious at this point for you guys. Slight higher highs to this. Slight lower lows into this stuff. 2, 2 here. Where's it going? Up there. Goog. This is one we really wanted to see puke because of this, but we just didn't get it. And this is why it's an important phenomenon to know about, because we looked at it on the month and we're like, all right, inside month down, we want to get short, right? Now, when they started coming back, I closed my shorts because I know if this goes down and doesn't stay down and we start seeing this, you can see it goes 2 up here, reversal, but it does get countered. It still didn't reverse back down, so it's still a higher low. We have to see it go 2, 2 back down tomorrow if it's going to keep puking. It goes 2 up again. At that point, I'm like, maybe I should close that. Goes 2 up again here. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting out. Because as this 2s go up, every day it's 2 up, reconfirms that there's buyers there. So eventually they really take off because they have to buy a lot of stock. If they're starting here, they might have to buy 2, or let's say 100 million shares. Who knows? So if they have to buy that much, it's going to show up as a 2 daily first, and then it's going to happen again and again, and then it'll just keep happening because they're really buying. And what we'll see is if we did take the break short, hammer weak tells us just get out. Or if it goes 2, 2 here, get out. And what you do is you actually just get long. 2, 2 weak here. Because now, anyone that shorted the inside and down, which actually was here on Goog L, but anyone shorting the inside and down, the second we're back into that and this flips green, now they have to buy to cover, and we're going to go 3 of the 1 because we failed one side, we came back in. So stratters, we always say, you have to be willing to trade both ways. Sometimes the trades don't work. Sometimes they work really, really well. It's just a matter of getting the really good one and holding it. So the 2, 2 week here, buy, make your money back and then some. And you can see the 3 here. 3 pokes down, trying to poke back up. 2 weeks to make the new highs so far. So we'll see. Goldman Sachs. This one's just been chopping a long time in here. On the yearly, you did have some nice little tries. The 3, 2 on the year. So triangle expansion after this 3 and this 3 that occurred, which on like a monthly or weekly chart, you'll see the very nice, beautiful broadening formation in there. This year, it's a double inside and out. Home Depot. You'll see this. They poke up, they poke down, slight lower lows to that. 2-2 month. Where's it going? Back up there. And this is how we draw it out. I know it looks kind of funky, but once it makes the new highs here, we can redraw. So we'd go with something like that and that. Then if it keeps going, it's an expansion. They're going up there. HON. You'll see the trine here, slight lower lows. Notice how it starts here first because of the inside bars getting stuck. Pokes up, pokes down, back through previous range, gets bigger. Now goes down. It's going down there if this weekly doesn't reverse, right? It's still going there. 2-2 week. Now, if it fails to make the new high, this is stuck inside, doing nothing. So 2 up in red. So it's still trending up, 2 up again, 2 up again. And then they finally get the 2 down here. And you'll see they make the slight lower lows to this, but they're too weak of sellers to take these guys out. So then, once it's a crowded trade, 3-2 month. Where's it going? Back into this stuff. And it does. Now they're stuck inside again. IBM. This is one we saw end of last year, beginning of this year. So you can see, notice how all of this stuck inside of that. So what do? They poke up and poke down, creating the try. Then they fail one side, boom, back to the other side, like so. And if they're strong, we'll see them take these guys out. Intel, double inside year. So notice the inside year shooter, boom. Slight lower lows. And however you would like to get that drawn. These 3 bars outside of all of these bars here. If you go to the month, since it's stuck inside on everything, notice you start the new try on the month. And some people like to trade this stuff because you can just go back and forth and back and forth. Other people like to trade things that just keep going. So do whatever you like to do. But you'll see the slight lower lows into this stuff, slight higher highs into here. Notice they're trending lower. They get stuck inside here, failing to take this out or that out. They poke up, pokes down, pokes up, pokes down, 2-2 kicking pattern, pokes up again, then pokes back down, goes back into the high just barely, 2 up and failing 3, 3, 2-2-2 right there, back down. This is just a mess. We don't like trading that. At least I don't. INTU. Nice little daily try in here. And you'll see the big higher time frame try was way down here before. Failing to take this low out. So they poke up, they poke down. You can see they start another try up in here, back and forth and back and forth. It's just going to happen over and over and over. You just got to be willing to draw them. And if we just zoom in here, you can see when you're inside a higher time frame, it just happens. Like it gets bigger, gets bigger, gets bigger, gets stuck inside. Smaller, slightly bigger, bigger again, and then stuck inside. Smaller, bigger, stuck inside. Smaller again, back through previous range, gets a little bigger, still stuck inside to that until they take it out. You can see stuck down first. Everyone gets short, back up the other way. Takes a slight higher high. And they just do it over and over and over. Now, the big moves happen when you have 2s on all time frames, because then you're trending. You can see triangle out, and then boom, buyers are aggressive, so it keeps going. J&J. These blue chip stocks, just, they got them everywhere. You can see like so. And what I want to show you, for example, is this. So you get the nice tries in here. Maybe you'd like to see that high get taken out, but what happens? Inside, 2 down in green, so that's good. Pokes back up, but fails to stay above these previous highs here. So what happens if you fail that? You're going back down here. And then you start the new try all over again. So they triangle them out. These 2 bars outside of all that, stuck inside for multiple days. 2-2 day, rev strat here, gets you back up. Fails to take the high still, so they're still too weak to make new highs. Then the 2-2 back down, back through previous range. Boom. And you can see they're going to keep doing that back and forth until that range is big enough or you have an aggressive enough seller or buyer to actually take out this pivot or this pivot. So what we're looking to do is trade within the try and then ask ourselves, what can that trigger? Like, if this works and it takes this out, does that take a monthly signal down? Does it take the week? What happens if we take this pivot out? Is that a yearly signal, right? So use the daily guys in here to trigger whoever these guys are. Might be like the month or the quarter. Yeah, so the month. Use that to negate the month and go 3. Trigger those guys. And then if they're going to puke, you're already in. You got it here. JP Morgan. This is one in the financials we saw, and I mentioned your triangle expansion on the 30-minute basis. So you can see these 3 go outside of the 3 here after getting stuck inside here. They poke up, they poke down. These 2 bars outside of that. 2 down in green. Did it make the new low to this? It did not, but it doesn't have to. It's a phenomenon. Slight lower lows to here, and green, where's it going? Trying to go 3. 2-2 day here, where's it going? Into these 3 guys, because these 2 bars become an outside bar of these 3 now. And then if that doesn't expand, now the range is getting bigger. Or that doesn't reverse, range is getting bigger. So if you go on 30-minute chart, this is what we talked about before the Fed. We drew it out and we said, if you can get outside of that, you got some nice moves coming. And you can see they get out here at 193. Nice big directional move to 200. And then what does this tell you on a Friday? Get out of your longs. Shooter 230 at the open. You can country western. Get the longs here. Short or take profit on Friday. And the reason you know to do that Friday and not the other days is because this is 2 up. Did go slightly red, but still outside of the try. This is 2 up right away. It just gets going. This is 2 up bright green, and then that negates. So what happened? Anyone that was long into this first 15er, the second we take the low out, now they have to exit. And that can trigger the rest of the guys long this week to exit as well. And you'll see this happens even on the small time frames. Notice this. If you're trying to get short in here, what do you wait for? Triangle they out. Stop them out. 2-2 back down, looking for low a day. Then they do. Then they go sideways. Then they low a day again. You can see it happens over and over. Pokes up, triangle they out. Boom. And they get stuck inside. New triangle again. And you can see that's just going to happen over and over and over. So if you get to like a 5-minute, you'll see the 3s. First, you see the 3 in the morning. And this 3 here tells you if it starts profit taking up there, it's coming back through, which is why it's important to know about this. Then the 2-2-2, that's a triangle out. The 2-2-2, triangle out. 1-3-1, 2 against, might stop you out of this. Then the 2 back down. And then you can see stuck inside, pokes down, pokes up, pokes down. Rev strat right here that gets going pretty nicely. And then the 2 up, 2 down here. Or it might be an inside bar, can't quite see. Back down. Then you get more triangle out. Like so. You can see pokes down, pokes up, triple inside and down. Triangle out, but 2-2s, back down. 2-2-2, back down. Inside and up, triangles out again. 3-2, back down, etc., etc. And when you're trading these lower time frames like the 5-minute, you're going to have a lot tougher time. What we like to do is just trade the 30-60. 2-2-30 here, good all day. And then later in the day, the 1-2-2-30 here for the end of the day, puke. KHC. All right, now I messed up all my time frames. Here's your broadening formation. Failed to make the new highs here. So the outside bar is like this instead. And you'll see 2-2 month gets going. 2-2 reversal here, slight lower lows inside. So if that goes inside up next month or inside down, question is, how are you getting out of this stuff? Coca-Cola. This is one we talked about near the beginning of the year. The 2 down, 2 up hammer reversal. Where's it going? It's trying to go back up there. Still trying to do that. It's just grinding. Inside month, next month, either side of that gets our attention. Lin. Notice this. This is why it's so important to know. Poke up, poke down. Notice how it's just grindy, grindy, grindy. Gap down buy. Something we know about. Goes back up. And then you can see it triangles out with the 3. 2, 2, 2. And if we go to like a weekly chart here, you'll see this. 3, 2 week right here. So it's completely stuck inside, and then the 3, 2 week gets it going. Boom. Notice how the first move is normally wrong. Doing nothing, doing nothing. Everyone's like, oh, this is the real short move. And then, nope, boom, other way. LLY. This one's just been grinding up into the highs, so you'll see something like that. And that means your triangle outs are going to be just smaller normally, not quite the big monthly triangles. Something like this you can see on the daily. Comes back into it. Did it make the low? It did not, because it reversed. But you'll see all of this stuff gets stuck inside again, and then you can see pokes up, pokes down, up, down, just a complete mess in there. And the reason we don't do that is because we let it go inside month and do that all, and then we take the break of that equilibrium. That's the expansion. LMT, something we're doing this month. And we talked about this on the Tuesday video. 2 month above 435, 466.27. You go to the week. These 2 weeks become an outside bar of all of that stuff. Notice how it starts small, gets bigger. And then 3, where's it going next week if we go 3, 2 and stay above that? Back up there. Tells you to be looking at NOC as well, which did have profit taking Friday when inside bar. So we'll see either side of that. But if we zoom out, here's your big old try. And here's your sub try within that try. Like so. So as long as they can keep 2s to the upside, we want to see these guys out, ideally. And if we go to RTX, it's going to be in the same sector. Also talked about this on the on the Strat Attack show. Higher highs, lower lows. 2-2 here gets going. Corrective month and up to this month, so it's still going. Because 2-2 here tells you you're going up there without a reversal against. So what we're looking for is, can we take that and not see it reverse? Because if it doesn't, add every continuation you can. Lows. Here's your try. Stuck inside, pokes up, pokes down, pokes up, pokes down, inside month up, boom. What does that take out? Inside a year and up. 2, or what? 112 with Home Depot. Simultaneous break. HON. Stuck. These 3 inside of these 2. Oops. McDonald's. Something like that on the week. You got a 3 in here, 3-1 into next week. So on the quarter, you can just identify this here. 3, pokes down, pokes up. Where could it possibly go? Back down there if they don't like McDonald's anymore. On the month, you'll see that try a little clearer. Pokes down, pokes up. Still kind of just sitting up there for now. The week, though, could change that if that breaks down. MDLZ. First of all, you can see, oops, bigger try. Notice how when it gets stuck from this high to this low, the triangle, then it gets really big here, back down to here. That's when we start really getting after it. Then you get the triangle out, and then the really big puke. And then inside bar, back through the previous range. And then again, in here, they get stuck from this high, or you could say this high, to this low. So what do? Lows, highs, 2-2, lows, inside up, back to the highs. Then they grind and stay up there. Notice how all this action stuck inside of these 2 bars. That means this is consolidating. Then it breaks up again. Gap down by, back into the highs. Then you can see back into the previous range again here. And for those of you guys that are like, well, how do the trades work on something like that? You can see with time frame continuity, notice the day and the week guys start buying here. And then the monthly guys start buying here. So you get all month to do that. And then notice how continuity changes here. You don't got much on the month. because the monthly buyers are not quite as aggressive. That's when the price discovery restarts, because the buyers are going to be aggressive if they think prices could go higher. If they don't, it's going to chop back and forth until someone decides it should go higher or lower. Then you can see here, the range gets bigger. Inside bar up, every participant buys when that happens, and you know it's going to go there. And then the question is, do they stay aggressive? See how the month stays green that whole time? That means this is all corrective. Then they keep going. Then notice right here, 2-2 day, what changes? The week goes red, back through this previous broadening formation, these 3 bars outside of these 3. And then what does that create negator do? The 2-2 day here ends up negating the month to red. So now you know that you should get out. If you bought this, you should get out here, right there. And in fact, you can short it, because you know if that's going to work, maybe you take all these guys out. If you go to the month, you can see this. 2 up and red. When that happens, it's going to take this out. And now it might go 3 of the 3. So potentially, if those monthly guys start buying again, go back all through that. And we're not going to go through too many more, but we'll switch over here and give you guys something new to look at. MDT. Pokes up. Pokes down. Stuck inside. Met. There you see it. Inside on the 6, or inside up on the month. Pokes up, pokes down, inside up again. Back through this 3. And then the 2 down goes green right there. Back through. Trying to go up there still. Quarter. 2-2. Still good. Meta. This is a good one. So you can see our actionable shooter signal here. There was a hammer, but it never reversed. Back to 2 down. 2 down, 2 down, 2 down. And then right at the bottom of the try here. Hammer quarter. Where's that going if it doesn't reverse? Back up there. 2-2 quarter. Still good. This is the, like, if we're looking, if we had a picture of exactly what we're looking for, this hammer or any actionable signal with a big previous range to come back through. And then once it reverses, if it doesn't reverse back down, it's going up there. And it does. If we go to triple M, you can see the 2-2 big PMG did take out a lot of that. Makes you that big try. And 3 pokes up. 2-2 back down. 2-2-2-2-2. Boom. Other side of the 3. Now the question is, what are you going to do down here? Back up or not? MO. We did see this one pop up a pretty good bit earlier in the month. You got this big 3 here. You can see on the daily, though, I'm not sure if it was earnings or what it was, but something they didn't like happening here. Something like that. So you can see from this low, all of this action still stuck inside of that. So if you went to like a quarter, or actually not the quarter, the year. Inside year, stuck inside of these 2 bars, and you'd say these 4 years are a mother bar to these 4, doing nothing. MRK. This is an interesting one at the beginning of the year. You got the inside up PMG here, back through previous range, pokes into the highs, pokes back down, could go 2-2-2 if they're going to really get going next month. Has an inside week to potentially set that up. Morgan Stanley. You can see like so. GS is another example of that. The 1-1-2-2, where's it going? Other side of the range. This is your try instead of that. And if that works and keeps going, they take that out. They did. Still good from 323, now at 406. Netflix, just like Meta. 2-2 month, where's it going? Back through previous range. Takes out the new low without a reversal against. Actually had an inside add to get more short. And the 2-2 here. If you go to the quarter, inside and up quarter here. Up, up, up. 2 up in red. pokes back down, 2 going 3 back into this red bar. Who is short? Anyone that took profit or got short below this, they got to get out. Goes 3, and then this is your try in here. So if it 3 2s, let's try and take that out. And they're pretty close to doing that. We'll see. NVIDIA, this is a great example of a 3-2. 3-2, boom, triangle expando. The beginning of the year, I believe my words were, you're going to want to know about that inside month on NVIDIA. And we were talking about that the first week of the year here. We're talking about that Monday night right here. And you can see the weekly, if you got that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before you even had to think about taking any profit. And then the 3-1-2, they really blasted off inside and up this past week. They did have some buying occurring Friday. And you'll see the try in here even on the 60. Pokes up. We talked about this one on the weekend video that we'd want to know about. They did shoot her back down, so they poke back down. Then the inside back up, so they come back up. Then they go sideways. 3 slight lower lows, inside up here, back into the previous range. Poke up, poke down, 1-3 rev strat here, gets you out of the try. Trying to get that out if you can stay out of this 3. Nike. You'll see the try in here. Slight higher highs to this, slight lower lows to that. These 4 outside of these 3, stuck inside of this. 2-2 here, where's it going? Down here without a reversal. No reversal. If you go on the week, you'll see this. Pokes down, pokes up. Inside week down here, where's it going? Back down there. 2-2-2, shotgun, boom. Sadly, that occurred on earnings. Let's take a look at on. So on, everyone's talking about it. If that's going to really get moving, got to get outside of this try here. You can see on the earnings, what did they do? This is why we do gap down buy. Slight lower lows to this stuff. Here's your try. If that gap down buy works, where's it going? Back up there, here. 2-2 day. Inside and up, 2-2-2-2-2 highs, and then there's your exhaustion, 2 down. So this is like textbook what you want to see on a gapper. Then you go on the 60. How does that work? The 1-2-2 right here to get that going. Pretty nice. And we got one more here, Oracle, and then I'm done. I'm going to have to get some water. 1-3 stuck inside of this. So price discovery restarts. 3 again, still stuck inside of that. Then they make the new lows. And then you can see just a choppy mess up in here. They did have an inside month up. That did not get reversed, so they actually did finally take that out. If you go to the week, you'll see 2-2 here. These 2 bars outside of that. 2-2 here. Trying to do the same again. Takes this out. 2-2 down and then reconfirms the downside here. They take the lows out again. And then stuck inside. 1 pokes up, pokes down. 2-2 here is taking that out, and then we don't know. But they did keep going. And then again, pokes up. 2-2 down, comes back in. These 3 bars are outside of these 2. 2-2 again, that did not get reversed. If we go to a 2-week chart, you'll see 2-1-2. And the way we can see that on this chart is these 2 weeks are inside of these 2 weeks. So this is a 2-week equilibrium. Once it breaks above that, get 2 weeks to go after it. In this case, that happened on earnings. And to end it off, we'll go to Dollar Tree. Or not Dollar Tree, I want to go Dollar General. Dollar General looks like this. If you go to the day, obviously an aggressive seller's in here. This is why we like gap and sell. Gap into the top of the try, sell it back through. Where can it go? Back through all these guys if they're aggressive. 30, 2 up, 2 down, boom. And they get stuck inside again. New highs, new lows, new highs, new lows. And that's going to be about it. So hopefully you guys are seeing how we draw this stuff. Mix it in with your actionable signals so you can gauge magnitude, use some time frame continuity, and you'll have a good time. That'll be about it. I'll see you guys in the next video.